I'm making a tzatziki, which is a dip. It's a Greek dip, super, super easy. And it's something that we can keep in our fridge for also a few days, which is great. And it uses a lot of interesting ingredients to make a really, really delicious dip. So the first thing you need is a cup of Greek yogurt. So you want to use one that has some fat in there. We don't really want to use 0%. It doesn't come out as good. We want something that's a little bit heavier. So I'm using a 2%. 2% is fine. 5% is fine. Full fat's fine. So I am using a 2% Greek yogurt. You want to use Greek and not regular because it allows, we're adding in some liquid and it allows to keep the creaminess of our dip. So the next thing we want to do is we have some lemon zest. So this is zested a little bit big because I couldn't find my smaller microplane, but we want to zest it a little bit smaller if we can. So I'm not going to put as much in it, but you can use about half of a lemon. I'm going to put some of that zest in there. I'm going to start mixing it up. It already smells so delicious, just the yogurt with the lemon. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do also the juice of, I'm going to say probably half a lemon. You don't need a full lemon in there. You can if you want to, but again, it definitely makes it a little bit more liquidy. Add a little bit more juice. So we're going to do that juice of the lemon. Again, the smells with the zest and everything, it just smells so delicious. Make sure, especially if we are zesting our lemon, we want to make sure that the skin is cleaned really, really well before we're using it, before we're zesting it. So make sure you wash the skin very, very well. So that is that. Then the next ingredient is something very interesting. It's actually cucumber. So you're going to grate a cucumber as finely as possible. You don't need to use the whole cucumber. I don't, because I don't like it too cucumbery, but I definitely like a little bit, and that's definitely one of the main ingredients of a tzatziki. So we're going to use cucumber. It's best to use a seedless cucumber, but it's fine. Mine actually has seeds in it today. It is definitely fine to use one that has seeds. So we're going to zest that. We're going to mix that up in there too. All of the flavors together. They're such interesting ingredients, but they just go so, so nicely together. The next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of pepper and salt. You know me, I don't like to use too much salt to season things, but the salt definitely brings out, I think, the flavor of all of these ingredients. So it is necessary in this recipe. I think you only need a tiny bit. So even if you have high blood pressure is something that you're worried about, a tiny bit will suffice. But it definitely brings the flavors in really, really nicely. So I'm going to just show it to you so far. It smells so delicious already. The flavors just go really nicely. People like to put this like with gyros. They like to put it with like a Greek type of chicken, grilled chicken. The last thing you can do, I'm actually not going to put it in because I'm not such a fresh mint person in my food. I do love it in butter like Sam did, but you can add a little bit of mint, and it also is a really, really great flavor. If you do like the taste of mint, I recommend putting it in there. I'm not as much of a mint fan in my food, so I'm going to leave that out. And then I made some pita chips, which you can obviously buy some store-bought ones, but you know me, I'm always into flavoring my own food. So I took some pita pockets, I cut them into quarters because mine are smaller, but if you have a bigger one, you can cut it into 6 or even 8ths. I put a little bit of olive oil, and then I use this za'atar that we were talking about, this Middle Eastern spice. So even though it's not Greek, bringing in another culture in there, which is totally fine, mixing cultures and their foods. That's how we get new foods, right? We get fusion types of foods. And then I'm going to put some of my dip in the middle of the plate here. And it's delicious with vegetables. It's delicious, as I mentioned, with chicken, with meat, with, pita chips. And let's put a little bit of the zest on top to make it look a little nice. If you want to, do this as with some crudité. And that is me. That's everything.